Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a puff blanket in Blender. And yes, this will work for all sorts of things. You can probably use this for puff coat as well if you wanted to. It will just be a little bit more advanced. So we're going to start by making the individual one of these little segments. We're going to use an array modifier, and then we're just going to use some very simple built-in physics in Blender just to kind of run this puff blanket simulation. And you can see this is the result. Now I will be uploading this blend file to my Patreon as well. So those of you supporting the channel can have a look at this. But that being said, if all you have is just a free copy of Blender, you can follow along and make this very thing you see here in just a few minutes. It's really simple to do, and this is fantastic if you have like a scene where you want to add in a puff blanket to add a little bit of coziness to your render. And the cool thing is, once you find sort of like a position that you like, you can select the blanket and you can go ahead and apply the cloth itself, and then you have sort of like this thing that would otherwise be very hard to model or sculpt, or you can just render it out as an animation itself. So I hope you guys enjoy learning how to make a puff blanket in Blender. Let's jump in and I'll show you how to make it. So with a new scene open up in Blender, let's go ahead and select all the default objects. We're going to press delete on the keyboard. And then what you're going to do, you're going to go Shift A, you're going to go to your mesh options and add in a plane. And then you're going to tab into edit mode, and with this plane selected, make sure it's completely active. You're going to right click and go subdivide. And you can come here to your subdivide tab and you can just drag this number up, okay? Now I think for our purposes, I think 12 would work good. So I'm going to type in 12 because you can only drag it up to 10, and then you have to type in after that the number manually. I think that's just to protect you from accidentally dragging it too far up. So with 12 cuts, what we're going to do is we're going to go with the selected E to extrude. We're going to extrude it up about that much. Now, because this now has been extruded, we need to quickly come up here to our mesh edit overlays here, just enable the normals. And we need to make sure those normals are all pointing out. If they're not, for example, if you extrude it down, you need to make sure to select A to select everything, press A to select everything, and then go Alt N and just recalculate those outside normals. This is a very common beginner mistake where the normals are inverted and then people get all sorts of weird effects and I don't understand why. So once we've got that out of the way, what we want to do is we want to go to our top view, and let's go into X-ray mode up here, or you can just go into wireframe. You need to click and drag and just select these edges. I'm holding in shift. I'm selecting all of these edges here like this. Okay, just these guys over here. And we're going to enable this auto merge over here. And then if you go S, Z, and 0 and flatten it, so S, Z, 0, you're going to see now that's flattened. So I'm going to go ahead and just turn on the X-ray. And because we had auto merge enabled, which I'm going to turn off by the way, make sure to turn it off. You can see here that if we grab a vertex, they're now all fused together, which is kind of important. We probably want to go A to select everything, just go S, Z and make this a little bit thicker, because later on in the array modifier, we're going to use an auto merge, in which case we don't want these guys here in the middle to merge together. We only want the end verts to do that, but you'll understand in a bit. So in our top view, let's select these verts over here. Okay, we're going to go E to extrude and Y in our top view, and we want to extrude them till they make almost exactly another cube. So get it just close enough. You should be able to eye this. Most people should be able to. You don't have to have it 100% exact, but you want to make this extrusion so it looks and matches the shape of the cube. So if you had it like this, that doesn't look like the rest of them. So just extrude it out as evenly as you can. And then grab this one over here. So in the top view again, you want to grab these guys over here, but not all the way to the end here because we've just extruded this bit, right? So in the top view, you want to go E to extrude and X and extrude it till it makes almost a perfect square, just like these squares over here. Okay, just eye it as close as you possibly can. Then you want to go to your face select option. Let's select these faces here. Holding and shift, select these faces here. So just these ones here, there we go. Just like that, we're going to go X and delete only the faces. So X and only faces. Then go over here to your vertex select option. And then let's select all of these verts here on the tips. And we're going to go X and we're going to go edges. So all we have is these verts sticking out on these, in the ends of these edges here. Then we're going to tab back out into object mode. We're going to right click and go shade smooth. Let's go over to our modifiers. Let's go add modifier, search and type in array, give it an array modifier. And let's go ahead and I'm going to give it a count of 7. If you've got a less graphics capability on a computer, go ahead and just make that 5 or 6.
We're then going to make sure to enable merge. And the reason we want it to merge is if you go into wireframe and you look at these sections here, we want where in the edges where these verts kind of come together to join to the side duplication, like the side array, right? So we want to kind of come down to the merge and maybe bump it up just a little bit to make sure those fuse. So they should be well fused even with these settings here. And you want to make sure that none of these bits here in the middle fuse. So if I drag it way too far up, you can see everything fuses. So we want to make sure we still have that sort of puffiness to this and doesn't flatten out, okay? So with that done, we're just going to come here to the array, we're going to duplicate it, and then we're going to come down to the duplication and we're going to make the X offset 0, and then the Y we're going to make 1, like that. And there we have it. So now what we can do is we can come to our arrays and we can come to the drop down and apply both of them. Then just tab into edit mode, and with your vertex select option, you want to make sure just to select all of these loose verts in the end and go X and delete the verts. And then here at the bottom, you want to do the same thing. You just want to delete all of these strays. Tab back out, and I'm going to go ahead in the top view. I'm just going to move this to the middle of the scene as much as possible. Just eyeballing it. There we go. Then I'm going to go Control A and just apply the location. Then I'm going to go G, Z, and just move this guy up like so. Then we're going to go Shift A, we're going to go to your mesh options, just add in a UV sphere. And we want to actually grab this cloth and scale it way down, like that. And then let's also grab the sphere and scale that up a bit, and then right click and go Shade Smooth. And what you want to do is you want to make sure to put this cloth right over there, like that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to select both of these items. I'm going to go Control A and just apply the scale, since I've scaled them. And what we're going to do, we're going to select, first of all, our sphere. That's our interaction object. We're going to go to our physics and let's give that a collision. Now, by the way, if you're making like a bed, the pillows and the sheets or the mattress is going to be what gets the collision, so your puff blanket can interact. But in this case, I'm just using a sphere. Then we're going to select our puff blanket. We're going to go over and give it a cloth under the physics. We want to make sure to come down to the vertex mass. And let's bring that down to 0.2. We're also going to scroll down and we're going to go enable pressure. And we're going to give it a pressure of 5. And then we're going to go down to the collision. We're going to go ahead and make self collision enabled here. And we also want to go up to the shape over here and we want to enable sewing. And let's give it a strength of 8, like so. Then you want to make sure to give this, I think about 100 frames should be fine for our purposes. You want to come over here to frame 1, make sure to save. And I'm going to save this to my desktop. There we go. And then once you have it saved, what you want to do is you want to go ahead at frame 1 and hit the space bar. And you can see here we have this simulation. Just trust the process and let it run through. So I've just stopped at about 67 frames and I'm going to go back to frame 1. As long as you don't change anything, let's just have a look at that again. You can see, there we go. So yeah, it'll bunch up at first, but that's fine. So if you were like making a scene, you would essentially let this simulate out and then you'd pause it at the shot where you like it the most. And then you could apply the actual cloth simulation. So what I might do, I might just scale the sphere down a little bit, go Control A and apply to scale, kind of take it up and closer like that. And then what I'm going to do, I'm just going to take the blanket, I'm going to go over to the cloth settings. And what you can do once you've saved this blend file is you can just make sure to go to cache, change the cache amount to 100 frames, and then just bake this simulation. So now I've baked the cache into the blend file. So if I hit the spacebar, you can see now I can actually scrub through this and it's in real time. So there we have it, guys. That is a puff blanket. You can now grab it and you can also give it a subdivision surface modifier to kind of smooth it out. And you can kind of get the idea here. It's really cool. It's really fun to make a puff blanket. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this tutorial. I will upload this blend file to my Patreon so you guys can check it out. Those of you supporting the channel, and yeah, like, subscribe, check out some other content, and I'll see you guys next time.